Go for it.
Yeah. All right. And item number 1, discuss contribution for holiday meat and cheese trays. Is it local?
I think it probably will be local. I don't know, maybe it's Hy-Vee.
I think it is.
I think it was Hy-Vee last year. For folks who are unaware, we're not allowed to spend tax money on a party, so we don't do a holiday party for our staff. But the commissioners for the last couple years have put together, along with the administrator, enough funds to purchase meat and cheese trays for our entire staff and all of the locations. So Commissioner Vagley and I are wondering if the board would like to do this again.
We've done it every year since I've been on. How much is it again? Did you
It's
figure it
about
out?
$100 a piece.
I thought it was more than that. Well, that's okay.
Oh, it might have been.
Yeah, I thought it was
Like,
150.
Yeah.
What it was.
150.
They
Yeah,
run that-
what, do you need
they
it
run
now?
that much?
No,
Oh.
We'll get a quote.
yeah.
Yeah, check around. I'm not opposed to it, but that just seems like a lot of,
Well, like a ZNA Meats or one of the other meat places, would they be willing to look into something like that, maybe? You can check out them too, maybe spread it around a little bit.
Yeah, but part of it is that there's one for the highway shop,
Oh.
one for here, one for public health. Yeah.
Law enforcement, courthouse.
Yeah, it's not just one, it's,
Yeah.
but then you've got, if you really want to be fair, you got Utica and Nodine highway shops.
We coordinate with the highway
Okay.
to go take them out.
I mean, there's people that are based out of there.
I can just walk next door to my Utica and get something out of it.
Well, it's a trek to get to
Enough
downtown.
meat and cheese trays in there already. They keep dropping them off.
so anyway, yeah, I think that was a yes.
Yeah, if we could do it local. I don't know if there's any other, that's, you're referring to the new one out on Highway.
Well,
14?
DNA is just a repeat. It's what was once Pete's Meats.
Pete's Meats.
That I just one
Do
that
they
come,
do?
there's other meat places that do things like
Yeah.
that too. So I just thought.
You can
spread
do
it around.
business locally. That'd be good. All right, any other discussion on that? All right, item 1.2, discuss potential allocation of to the Ripple Drug Awareness Organization. And
So
Right.
I asked last meeting, if we could put this on the committee of the board for the audience here and anyone listening at home. We're not going to make a decision today. This is just a discussion. If enough people support the idea of further discussing it and possibly making a decision, then we'll move it to our regular business meeting. But I have seen the RIP Ripple group in action all over the community. Their members have been at the high school a number of times over the years. I've seen the little fox everywhere, to her credit, at the county fair, at community events, all over the place. And one of the three, I'm sorry, what was the term? The three legs of the stool?
Pillars.
The three,
Yeah,
the three
pillars, yeah.
pillars. We have prevention, stabilization, and recovery, and the prevention is one of the pillars. And this falls squarely in that category. So I would like to, I guess I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be asking. I'm going to ask that they be invited to submit a proposal. Is that the best way to frame it? Because there is a process to go through to request funds. Is that correct?
So we don't have a process to request funds. How we are doing the committee is that the committee members are focusing on the three pillars and we establish events under those pillars. And then members of the committee actually do the research and look for organizations or individuals who can provide the services that align with it. And then we do a professional service agreement with measurable outcomes. So there isn't a process to request funds.
Right.
It's
Because-
based on events and outcomes.
Because this is opioid dollars,
Yep.
not property tax dollars that
Yep.
we, so it is a little different.
All right, but so, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No.
So in the process is the committee brings a recommendation to the full board.
Correct.
So in a way, I do, and the committee has been, because of some staff, hasn't met in a while. But I would like to, prevention, the key to the, the Captain Obvious is prevention. Sooner is better than later, is to possibly allocate some more funds to allow those good people to do even more sooner rather than later, not months or a year from now, et cetera. So, and since the committee is not meeting, I don't want to necessarily skip that step, but it comes to the board anyways for a recommendation, correct? And there is money allocated for community education, I believe, right?
Yes, there is. I did speak with, if I may, Madam,
Mhm.
I did speak with Health and Human Services Director, Ms. Chafee, sorry. Actually just before this meeting, and she is going to schedule a committee meeting in January. And so her hope is to be able to bring something forward February, early March.
Hmm.
I don't want to speak for her because again, she's only been here a little over a month.
Don't. Pardon my voice, I'm getting over being sick, everybody, so. The questions I have are, I know very little bit about this, but this is out of the opioid money, correct? Which is obviously grant money or in essence, free money.
Lawsuit money.
Lawsuit money, there we go, yeah. There's no such thing as free grant money from the government. We pay for it one way or the other. But this actually came from lawsuit money. But are we setting some sort of continued precedent down the road to continue to fund this? Or is this a one and done type of a deal? How does that work?
It might be both. Commissioner or
Actually,
Administrator, or
the intent is not to have anything ongoing.
it's a one.
It,
yeah.
it's to help
Let me get that in writing.
very upfront about it in the committee. We repeat it often. We say it when we're talking with the individuals that we're doing professional service agreements with. The intent is to help the community get the resources and
No, I fully understand the intent and I'm all about prevention, even though it's kind of contradictory to passing laws, legalizing things, which is just blows my mind to this day. But nonetheless, my fear with this is I see it the same as seed money. So although I fully support this opioid money going to these types of things, I just want to put it on record that, hey, I see what's going to happen when this dries up and we're going to have a whole bunch of groups out there going, hey, we'd like to continue doing this. So I just want to make sure that we're very aware that down the road, we're not stuck with footing bills that we didn't anticipate.
Sure. Commissioner Vega.
And that's a good point. There are a number of different programs that are going to be tied to these three pillars: prevention, stabilization, and recovery. And it is tied to the opioid funds, and they're not meant to be forever funds, but they are meant to be used for the current today opioid crisis and all the other forms of it, et cetera. So I'm not quite sure, I guess, how to move this.
Madam Chair?
I think by consensus, we could say move it to the committee and let them discuss.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be my
I would
preference.
say that's probably the best.
I mean, so Hiawatha Valley Mental Health came to us. They wanted to start up a medically assisted treatment program. We did not give them all of the money that they asked for, but we asked for a set of detailed financial and record plans, and then staff and the committee vetted that. So I would hope that we could just do that same
Yeah.
process.
And are we doing this based on an underfund? You know, hey, this group does a lot and they're severely underfunded, or how do they evaluate that? You know, there's got to be, that committee's got to be looking
I
at
think-
that, right?
Some people
There's
know what they
professional
do.
services.
Some of us just have a very high level, so it would be to their benefit to educate, what they have available.
I mean,
That's part of the
yeah.
process.
What was interesting about the medically assisted treatment is that they asked for a lot of money. They asked for like $100,000. And Emily said, no,
Hiawatha Valley.
Hiawatha
yeah.
Valley
Yeah.
that asked for that,
Yeah.
yeah. And Emily Volkman, our public health person,
At
said,
times.
oh, no, you can collect from insurance but no, this can't be right. And they met and they actually, in the end, asked for 15,000.
I'd be interested to see what the committee says, I guess.
Well, we have to put the onus on Attorney Sonneman. How many more lawsuits? There are other pending lawsuits, aren't there, with opioids?
There's one that they just settled that we should see more money from
Oh, okay.
down the road. I don't know when exactly it'll be distributed, but
Uh-huh.
yeah. And
Okay.
I'm not sure how many are in the pipeline, but
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So is the direction to send it to the committee?
That would be
what-
my, that's what I'd favor.
What does you need? Because we don't do actions here, but
And
consensus. is
Remind me,
moving
so is it
forward,
Commissioners Ward and Commissioner Meyer who are on the committee?
Right, and,
Would you like to be on the committee?
and
I
Well, you
Ms.
can't have.
Holte,
Well, I could
Well-
stop and you could go on the committee.
Ms. Holte, Ms. Sonneman,
no, maybe, yeah.
was there someone from law enforcement?
Andrew,
Public
Tom
health or-
Anderson, Trying to think who else is on.
Been a
there.
while since we met, so yeah,
Yeah.
but it's a
Commissioner Meyer
broad,
Can actually discuss that later.
Yeah.
Right.
But I
Right.
would certainly be
Thank you.
willing to
yeah. 'cause
trade with
it's-
you for something else or.
Because,
you
correct
just
me if
have
I'm wrong, there's roughly $1.2 million already sitting in the county account, right? roughly speaking.
Oh,
Based
yeah,
on-
sounds-
Based on what you.
There is, but that's not really what's available.
True,
But
but,
the
sorry.
thinking in the beginning was 180,000 or so a year for like,
18 years.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So this isn't meant to be like a future hypothetical. There are funds today.
Mhm.
I just hope that we can expedite this. Now, Commissioner Ward, you asked about high level. There are some people here from Ripple. Can we ask them, since we have time, to give them a couple minutes to talk about like an overview of what they do? Because we do have time, not
Mhm.
forever. I mean, but more than the 2 minutes that might be allotted.
Is that legal?
I can ask a question.
Yeah, that's what you have to
Ask
do.
a question.
So
Yeah.
I'd like,
Maybe of the board.
well,
is meant to-
Yeah,
board
yeah, we
board.
have questions.
Then
I have to make a statement though, and Malia can respond to this. So the other night, watching network TV, I don't know what station it was, but it was, they were talking about the opioid addiction. And there's a new drug you take. You don't have to be totally off opioids, but there was a new drug, a new drug you could take to relieve opioid thing. And then, of course, have the Narcan in the counter too, just in case. So a drug for a drug for a drug. What is the message we're sending here? I mean, if we want people to stop using things, we're just substituting things. And I don't even, you can come up to the mic. I didn't write down what name it was. I mean, every night there's a different drug for something. You can come on up, Malia.
well,
Yeah.
maybe in addition to that, maybe could we start with, if I could start with two of the more specific questions, could you summarize, Malia, what you've done and what you would like to do if you had more funds available, et cetera? Because I know basically are you all volunteers or?
Mhm.
Okay,
Yes,
so there's no.
Thank you.
So summary of maybe of what you've done and what you hope to do if you had more funds available.
sure. So for those that do not know, my son did die of a fentanyl poisoning. I just came from Eau Claire speaking to 2 high schools today, rushed back here to be able to be before you, where they have just lost a 15-year-old to a 1-pill can kill. We are going into schools since 2023. Josh died in 2022. 2 weeks before he died, he had stated to me, "Mom, people are dying of fentanyl and no one's talking about it." That is why I do what I do. This is in his name, it is in his honor, and I'm sorry, it's very emotional, but it is to keep people safe. Getting up before these kids and saying to them as I'm crying, "You never want your mother standing up here," is making a huge impact. Since 2023, we have spoken to well over 3,000 kids. We're in Southeast Minnesota. Red Wing, Goodhue County has given us opioid dollars. We're doing $40,000 worth of work for the next 3 years through their opioid committee. We have a 14-year-old that died in Red Wing, and that's why we're there. I live, just FYI, I have property in Winona, raised all my kids here, but I live across the river. So I am also doing West Central Wisconsin. We're going in the schools, we are educating them. Who in this room knows carfentanil, nitazines, xylazine, and medetomidine? So I'm not just teaching fentanyl anymore. I am now teaching carfentanil, xylazine, medetomidines, and well, the carfentanil is, they're all opioids. We're getting naloxone. I can tell you in this city, we are the harm reduction. We have 2 boxes, and my board here is putting boxes of naloxone into little libraries throughout the city. People's home fronts with their little libraries, they have 2 boxes in them that we go to regularly. We are the ones that place the Hiawatha Valley Mental Health Center outdoor 24/7 dispenser. I have a contract with the state of Minnesota, the naloxone portal, and that is not something that we have to pay for. That comes to us, and we have hundreds that we have put out. Sasha and I just filled tonight because Hiawatha Valley called and said it was empty.
I'm sorry, but doesn't it isn't there a temperature? and
Yes.
Life expect,
No life expectancy.
okay, they've eliminated that then, but temperature is
The temperature, it is compromised. It will freeze. It will overheat, but it will come back to its original. So you just have to put it under your arm. Plus, I do not feel that Dwayne's going to go, there's an opioid, run down to Hiawatha Valley and get this. We need to be carrying. Every single one of us need to be carrying. We have fire extinguishers in our home. How often do we use it? Not very often, if we use it. We need to be doing the same with naloxone. I brought you each a box tonight. It's
Thank you.
opioid,
To do anything for the flu.
not that I know,
Not yet.
And does the
but I
question
have a
been,
lot of oils I
I'll
can
take
tell you
you
about.
Does it can it have a negative effect on somebody? Like, you know, kids got
Absolutely
peanut-
not.
Like but kids have peanut allergies and stuff like that. So I mean, there is no negative that anybody said.
Babies born to mothers using substances are immediately Narcaned, and they're staying in the hospital withdrawing from the opioids
Huh.
from the system. It will not hurt a person who's having a diabetic reaction, who's having an epileptic seizure. You are best, it won't do anything for xylazine or medetomidine. It won't do anything for methamphetamine, but it also won't hurt. It's just to reverse that opioid.
Okay.
Okay.
Which I find,
Yep. So there is no, absolutely. You need to know that I work only with the DEA. That is who my evidence-based program is coming directly from the Drug Enforcement Administration. That's why I do have the most recent carfentanil, nitazene, all of the facts. It's not something I make up. Other than the stories, and I don't make those stories up. I'm telling the stories of Anthony Glupka, who was standing against the wall dead. It just takes your breath, your respiratory, and your can't think of it at this moment, but
Your
Cardiac.
Heartbeat. okay.
Cardiac.
Yeah.
Malia-
respiratory. Your respiratory end. Okay.
Malia, thank you for bringing those boxes. That's a wonderful help.
Yes.
Thanks to you, I have one in my car. I have one in one in school. But yeah, like there's no such thing as too much of this.
You should have it in your desks, definitely in open meetings. Absolutely. You should have naloxone here available.
Can you tell us what you would do if more funding were to become available?
We need a campaign. Have you seen our Ripple billboard? You saw it? Yeah. So the Ripple billboard, we had up for 4 months, thanks to the generosity of Celanese. They gave us the money for 4 months to have that up. It moved around town 4 times. It had 16 faces of beautiful angels, and 8 of those were Winona people. So we would like to have messages on the back of city transit. We would like to have at the theaters advertising, commercial breaks. That's a lot of kids that are seeing that. So media is a huge one, is getting the money out there. You know, as far as what we do volunteer-wise, it would be nice to be able to go into school and get, you know, like $50 for your time.
Mhm.
But we've been doing it for 3 years without it. There's ancillary things, of course, buying these things, and all of our pins and our pens and the wristbands. Kids eat that stuff up. So we do try to work with law enforcement. We're going into the jails. Some of our people in recovery, checking to see Jesse's awake. Some of our people in recovery are going into the jails already, and we're getting Ripple to go in as well, because you would think that I'm preaching to the choir there, but they have their own idea about what, I met a person that was a meth manufacturer that argued with me that fentanyl wasn't in meth. Well, it wasn't in his meth. You know, he was manufacturing it, but hey, buddy, my kid died from meth laced with fentanyl. So they have a warped sense. I think you guys would probably agree. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, not all, but some, not you guys. The awareness, getting out into the county, tabling, the harm reduction is huge. I don't have the funds to buy the test strips, the xylazine test strips, the fentanyl test strips. That was something that the DHS was doing, and now they don't do that anymore. They don't send that out to us free. And that's huge as well.
So you have to
Test
test,
strips,
what do you do with these test strips? The person or the drug? What do you?
the person is picking up test strips to test their drug to assure.
It's a-
Now, that seems like enabling, but again, that's giving you some sense of responsibility. And possibly if it's coming up with fentanyl, they're going to get the message. I don't want to be doing this. So it is all in the name of, my opinion, keeping people alive for as long as it takes. And I do need to stress that these are not choices that people make. This stuff is so addictive that there is no thought about how I started. I mean, I know you've seen these people walking around town. They have no way of becoming recovered. We need to be helping to get them into something.
Really, how many people roughly have you spoken with again? If you count students?
In Southeast Minnesota, 3,000 at least since 2023. So
That's why the funds are already here. The people are, good people are already doing this work. We need to find a way to get this money to those people as soon as possible. This isn't some far off distant wildfire. It's here already. It's all over.
it's here.
Just last week at lunch, there's a teacher who rented an apartment. And this is on the deep east end. There's a house that burned down a couple weeks ago by a drug dealer,
Yeah.
et cetera. So this is literally here and now, et cetera. So we need to find a way. And I hope that if the committee can meet, we can expedite this. Of course, go through all the normal channels. I'm sure they'll meet the requirements, et cetera, but we just need to find a way to get the funds, and it's already budgeted for community education and prevention. So we just need to find a way to get these funds and make sure that there's follow-up and that there is evaluation, et cetera. But I have.
And you may know this, but in 2021, it was 4 out of 10 pills. All 10 pills are deadly. 4 of them will actually kill you. By 2022, it became 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 in 2023. I was certain in 2024 I was going to go into the classroom with a DEA slide that said 8 out of 10. It went down to 5 out of 10. Called the DEA and said, this is a typo. What is this? No, because of our mothers and our families going into the classrooms and doing the work that you're doing, because you're getting the harm reduction tools into people's hands, those numbers have come down and they are going down again. You know that your medical examiner came and told you that yours went up 100%. And that broke my heart. It broke my heart. And I need for you to see ripple. I need for you to see what we are doing and that we need, because we are the lived experience, right?
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
And if other people would want to
Go.
make comments at the 6 o'clock meeting, there's a 2-minute time period for public
We'll have
comment.
that open, yeah.
Right.
One of the things, just a little bit that I hear, the good thing is this is not levy money. This is settlement money
At
to the taxpayer. So
This
it
is
is at
blood
zero cost to the
money.
taxpayer. It's blood money. Second thing is so many times in so many things we do, so much of the cost goes to administration. Just people in the background, this is boots on the ground, and I'm a boots on the ground sort of person. And so that's what I like about the little bit that I know. That's what I like. It sounds like you're boots on the ground type of people.
Thank you.
Right.
I don't have a question for you, Malia, but for staff. I just hung up at Houston County Courthouse, Maxalone and a boxes on every floor of the building that are stocked. Do we have, I didn't see it. Okay, I just.
There's AED, I don't know.
So we have in Houston County, I don't know what prompted it or what, but we have those on every floor of the building,
I can
installed.
check into it. I know that we have AED, I'm not sure about.
That'd be great, because if we don't have an Arcan available, I assume that we did.
I think.
Social services.
Law enforcement does.
Yep, but.
And the Southeast Emergency Emergency Medical Services was a
Right.
big distributor of
Right.
that for many, many years. That's kind of changed now. We don't have to go through that particular
We have
thing.
containers on every floor.
Must have got some,
Well, I've also seen it
Grant?
on my cross-country trip, in rest stops,
Mhm.
and I was kind of surprised. It was like a dispenser thing, you could get, just take a box.
how many, is this one dose? What is this, one?
There's 2 blister packs in each one.
Okay,
It gives the directions for how to use on the side.
Oh, thank you. I'll add it to my.
Do you have 1 or 2 extra to give to Marine to possibly, if we don't already have it somewhere in this lobby area as well?
Will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Malia. Thank you, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
All right, thank you. We got a couple minutes if anybody needs to use it.
Like a tequila shot.
Another
With the lime and
drug.
rice, not the salt.
Okay, so we'll,
Take a break?
yeah, we got about a 4-minute, we can take a break. Yes, but we don't like. We don't want that to happen. Okay. We start our meeting, with the public comment. Well, are we recognizing a retired employee?
Retiring.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, we'll do our recognition first. We're recognizing a retiring employee, and not that she's the only one that's retiring this, this year, maybe it's just timing. Sheila Harms, she's been with us for 13 years of service in Planning and Environmental Services Department. And Eric, do you have more to?
Yeah, good
Ed?
evening, County Board. Just wanted to echo a few comments as I believe was in the bio, 13 years in the planning department.
Yep.
So just want to take this moment to honor Sheila and all her efforts. Back in the day when she was hired, we used to have a county water plan and she worked on that. And then as that evolved into individual watershed plans and then ultimately the one watershed, one plan, she's been very valuable for multi-counties here down in southeastern Minnesota, the Whitewater Joint Powers Board, and the multiple county planning and other SWCD departments that are down here. Been pivotal and working and collaborating, the watershed planning process, a real asset. So it's sad to see her leave. Ross Dunsmore wanted to give some comments too. He had other commitments tonight. He might be here later, but I just wanted to read this into the record too. 5 short months ago, Sheila let me know her plans to retire. Ironically, during a conversation on training to back up her and assist with essential duties to perform for the department. Always the professional, Sheila was ready at work, preparing her files and guidance documents to help in the transition. As we've navigated the past few months, Sheila's value to our citizens and the natural resources community around southeastern Minnesota has been on full display, with her colleagues expressing their appreciation for her work and thoughtfulness as a person. Sheila's legacy can be seen in the projects completed to protect and improve the environment in the Whitewater, the Winlac, and Root River watersheds. We will miss Sheila very, very much and wish her the best in her well-earned retirement. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Sheila.
Speech? Speech, parting words?
Parting words.
Parting
I
words?
just thank you for the opportunity to be an employee here, and it was what I really like about this job. It was so varied and there was a lot to do and every day was different. So,
Okay,
But,
well, we
yeah.
thank you. I've always referred to you as, Miss Water for Winona County. If you needed a water question, go see Sheila. She knew about the water.
Sure. I'd just like to thank you personally. Sheila, we've worked together for
long time.
a long time, 10 plus years.
Yep.
just the different various
Maybe
boards.
13, maybe
Yeah,
13.
probably shortly after you started, not too
Mhm.
much longer anyway. So just with all the different committees and boards I've been on over the years, and I've said it for many years, especially in the Whitewater Joint. Without Sheila, it doesn't exist. And interestingly enough, we are going to we're going to dismember that board. And she's really the one that put the time into grant writing and just exceptional person to always depend on, very organized. Without her, I'd be somewhere else. She always keeps me, hey, we got to do this. She literally was just up here. We need to do this, Josh, right? So very organized and very good at what you did. So I just wanted to thank you personally for all these years. And like I said, you were instrumental in keeping a lot of these things going. So
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Alright, thank you. But now you
I don't. know
live
how we're gonna-
across the river though, don't you?
Pardon?
Do you still live?
I do, but not for long.
Oh, okay. Oh, Michigan.
Yes,
Oh, okay. Oh, good.
I
Life
just-
change.
I'm moving north.
Without you, Sheila, thank you for all of the hard work that you've put in. The one watershed, one plans would not have gotten done without you.
Okay,
So
thank you.
we will miss you.
Thank you, Sheila.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. Safe travels to Michigan then.
Thanks.
All right. Okay, then we will move on in our agenda for public comment. Anybody that would like to make a comment, feel free to step to the podium, state your name and address for the record. And the question is this the time to talk about the budget and the tax and everything? No, that will be down in the agenda after we do our consent business. So you can, if you have a quick comment about it, feel free to do that, but there'll be more discussion later in the agenda. So, good evening, Ms. Wilbright.
Hello. My name is Chelsea Wilbright, County Auditor Treasurer. I live in Wiscoy Township. And my public comment was initially to address that for all the folks that are in the audience that are here because they got their proposed tax bill. If you have questions or concerns specifically about valuation, we do have a sign-up sheet to have one of the assessors give you a call. That's not what this meeting is about tonight. That is, tonight is about the levies. Valuation has a lot that goes into your tax bills, but if everybody's went up, if everybody's value doubled and the levy didn't change, your tax bill would not go up. So levies are just as important to your tax bill as the valuation. Again, if you have valuation questions, there's a sign-up sheet out there. There's also information about the various homestead credits and different exclusions you might be eligible for. But the Truth and Taxation meeting is item 8.1 on our agenda.
So be sure there is a sign up if they have a specific question about the valuation that appears in their upper right-hand corner of their statement that they just got.
Yep.
Okay. And was this sheet out there too, Chelsea? I don't know where I picked it up.
Programs?
Well, how value affects taxes. Did
Yep,
that-
that's out there as well.
Okay, so there is an explanation of how the value changes affects taxes.
Yep.
I haven't looked at it yet, but it comes from Department of Revenue.
Yeah, it comes from the Department of Revenue.
Yeah.
There's also
Okay.
just
Yes.
real quick, if the 2 minutes didn't kick in, so I don't know how much time you have left, but if you don't mind a quick question. I have been noticing and have had several calls about some discrepancies as far as homestead exclusions and different things not showing up. Are we on that? I just wanted to make a public record. I'm bringing it up. Are we fixing some of those situations?
I've heard of a few one-off, again, homestead and things, that is the assessor's department. But they impact tax, so I'm in the loop. I've heard of a few one-off with the TNTs, like a few parcels out of the 26,000 that are taxable. It's not a widespread error.
I wanted to bring it up because usually if there's a couple, that means other people might not be looking. And I'm just public awareness, hey, look at your tax statements.
Yep,
you know.
look at your truth and
so-
taxation notice. If you're expecting it to be a homestead and it's not, call the assessor's office.
Yep.
Otherwise, we've had them for that one specific, we had Tyler look through the whole system to see if there's any similar issues that happened in the same fashion. And that was the only case. So to our understanding, it's not a widespread issue, but definitely take a look at your TNT.
Several.
Commissioner Meyer.
Thanks. The other thing I wanted to point out is that there's a sheet out there as well. There are property tax refunds specifically for folks who are on fixed income and whose tax is a high proportion of what their income is. That is what that's for. And so there's information out there.
Yeah, of programs.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
can Mr. Sadler speak, please?
sure.
With
Sadler.
reference to what was the-
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just to
Yep.
reiterate what Chelsea has stated, we are looking at it. It came to our attention. I had a constituent stop in earlier in the week. We had a lengthy discussion with Tyler on it. They did check the system, but if there's any other issues that you find, let me know, please.
Have you even seen it pop up online? I was just gonna find one quick of somebody else that had happened to, so.
And have them call.
Yep, get ahold of me.
Best is to
Yep.
call
Yep.
Todd, start
Yep.
with you.
Yep.
Okay,
And I'll jump on it as well.
yeah,
Next year, the statements will arrive sooner, correct?
Yes.
Next year, the statements will arrive sooner. There,
Yeah.
some people have
We-
concerns because they missed the city truth and taxation.
Yes.
They missed the school board. There's a time for ours, but next year they'll arrive sooner, so.
Right. right. There is no good time to talk about taxes. You should talk about taxes all the time,
Yeah,
and
well.
what they're doing and everything, so.
Anything else?
Todd.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, 2 minutes. Please step to the podium. Thank you.
Oh, I'll try not to be nervous this time, guys. My name is Jacqueline Venable. I'm a resident of Winona County. I have been a known drug user for 17 years, almost, no, 15, about 15 years. I am now in drug court. I work and do volunteer service for Ripple, and I go to the county fairs and everything, and I sit at a lovely booth and hand out information packets and tell my story and what I've been through. I would just like to see our outreach expand more. I've also, I've spoken with like my job to see about a education and awareness, and so they are gonna be reaching out so that we can do that and tell people, okay, well, hey, if this happens at work, this is what you gotta do. And I got nervous. But no, so, it's just being able to do my volunteer work through Ripple means a lot, and giving back to a community that I took so much out of is exceptional. And I would like to see them expand in their opportunity to help our county. So, thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
Jesse King, Winona County resident. Karen, you know me. You guys, I've been in the paper over the years and been a drain on this community. I would not be standing here if it wasn't for Narcan and treatment court, and a lot of factors played into it. Been sober 4 years now. Been here sober, clean and sober 4 years now. I have a great job. I work hard and I put my free time into helping with Ripple because I know the good it does. I know a lot of the people that are, in this community suffering, they're not all bad people. I'm sure half the community wrote me off years ago. And I wouldn't have blamed them, but, it saves lives and it's a miserable life to live. I hate to see anyone live it, but if I can, like you say, with the Narcan, people, it saved my life a few times and here I am. So Ripple's it's a good cause. I believe in it and we're doing good things out there. When we're at the county fairs and people in the medical community are saying, this is fantastic. I mean, we need this out there. Keep it up. Good job. I mean, that's huge, I think. I know it is. It's because I see what the drugs have done and I know, yeah. But anyway, that's my piece.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona County Board? Dwayne, can you pass the coffee
Absolutely.
this way? Thank you.
My name's Amanda and I'm a Winona resident and I have a 13-year-old daughter. And I want her to learn everything that Ripple has to say. And I want her to go to the movies with her friends and see the ads on the video screen before the movie plays. I want her to be walking through the community and see the buses driving by and see the ads. I want it to be everywhere out there because I don't want to lose her. And I don't want her to lose her friends. And I don't want other mothers to keep losing their children. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona County Board?
Chairperson Ward, could I just ask for some clarification?
Yes.
Did your earlier instructions mean that tax-related comments are supposed to be deferred until
At the,
Section 8?
yes, we'll hold a public hearing. Yes.
Thank you.
And that's more about our budget and the amount of taxes, not any valuation issues.
Thank you.
Yes, not a problem. Is there anybody online that wants to address the Winona County Board?
Any high school students in the audience that want to share some thoughts?
Yeah,
or advice?
what brought them out on a cold gray?
It's an assignment, not for my class.
Oh, well, please, what, do you have questions? Do you have comments?
You sit in the back, you automatically got to come to the front.
Cool. If you're in the back corner, you must speak.
What's, we're a little informal here. What's the class?
I think AP US history. I mean, AP US government.
Well, AP, you're supposed to be at the top of the class and you're supposed to be willing to share and talk and discuss. You're not come on, don't you have a question for us? No questions? Okay, all right. I'll duly note it to the instructor that you were non-participatory in local government. I'm sorry. All right. Okay, all right. Last call. Is there anyone wishing to address the Winona County Board? And I see a few things popped up online. Anybody on the online that wanted to make a comment, please?
Yes, I would like to make a 2-minute, please.
Yes, please do.
My name is Linda Johnson. I'm from La Crescent. As you probably already know, I'm not a big advocate of funding outside agencies with taxpayer money. I've been following Winona County process with outside agencies for quite some time. Winona County contributes to many outside agencies. In fact, in 2025, you contributed over $739,000 and is projected to be over $820,000 in 2026. When I originally started following this was a process that I thought was supposed to be followed. In fact, I have saved the information, and from what I can tell, that process has not been changed. The process for outside funding goes like this. An outside agency submits a Winona County request for funds application. This application states information such as the organization's reserves, the amount requested, what they're going to use the funds for, and lots of very good information. This application then goes through the appropriate county officials and then comes to the county board. In this process, number 5 was also about disbursement of funds, which states that the county shall disperse the funds to said agency only after receipt of a fully executed copy of this agreement, referring to the Winona County Request for Funds Agreement, is submitted. And you're probably saying, well, there are 990 forms in the December agenda. Yes, there were 990 forms in the December agenda this year because they were requested by the county financial person. From my understanding, this should not have to be a request. The request for funds is supposed to be done yearly, and the questions of what the funds are going to be used for, etc., are then answered. I don't think it's too much to ask that these agencies follow the protocol or they don't receive the money. Instead, Winona County is giving money to outside agencies that have hundreds of thousands of dollars in reserve and do not follow the rules. It's time to form a financial advisory committee so we can have some accountability. Thank you.
Thank you. And is there anyone? Oh, I see a brave soul.
Wow. Hey, Sam.
I'm Sam Schultz. I'm a senior at Winona Senior High School. And my sophomore year, Ripple came to our school and they did a presentation. And they handed out pictures with faces on them. And they didn't clarify initially what they were. But as the presentation went on, they were victims of overdoses. And it was very impactful to me personally and everybody around me. It was very impacted by the presentation and what happened. And, I've had personal experiences with overdoses, and I really love what Ripple's doing.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, last time, is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona Board? Ted?
Ted Hazelton, 1073 West Fifth Street, Winona. I would like to inquire about county advisory committees. In the past few years, I've applied for a few. Nobody lets you know one way or the other whether you get on or not. You're left hanging. Yep, and then you require an application to fill out. Basically, it's a job application where they want your past employment and everything else on it. Why do we need to have a job application to get a county job for an advisory committee? And there needs to be more accountability with that. People need to know whether they made it or did not make it. A simple phone call or an email would be nice instead of leaving people hang. I've gone through 2-3 years of this now. If you don't want me, say so. If you do want me, let me know. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Seeing no one else step forward or nobody online, we'll move on in our agenda. Thank you for those comments. It's an important part of discussion. I came from a statewide counties meeting, and we had a conversation around one of the tables, how many have open mic? And some just say, oh, we wouldn't do that. And I said, we have done it for probably close to 20 years. We have our controls. We had a little hiccup this last summer, but I said, it's a valuable tool for a county board. And so they were going to go back and think about it. I said, yeah, you'll scare the heebies off your HR and your county attorney, but other counties do it. You can use this as a model.
Your county attorney helps start.
Yeah, I know, but some county attorneys don't like that option. But anyway, I feel, and I think our board feels it's a valuable opportunity. Okay, moving on in our agenda, item number 4, approval of the county board meeting minutes from November 25th, 2025.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Elzing, seconded by Commissioner Vagley to approve the meeting minutes from November 2025. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Okay, meeting minutes approved. Number 5 is the acknowledgement of the receipt of approved committee meeting minutes. 5.1 is the Planning Commission from October 16th, and 5.2 is the Board of Adjustment from October 16th.
So moved again.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Elzing, seconded by Commissioner Vagley to acknowledge the receipt of the approved committee meeting minutes. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Approved. Number 6, consent items and approval of the agenda. Attorney Sonman,
Nothing for me, thank you.
Commissioner Vagley,
One
one
comment.
One comment, okay. Commissioner Elzing.
Some different various comments at the end.
Okay. Elzing,
Topics, I
comments.
guess.
Okay. Commissioner Olson.
Nothing for me, Madam Chair.
Okay. Commissioner Meyer.
Committee update from the Land Records Committee meeting. That's it.
Okay, committee update. Ms. Holte.
Nothing, Madam Chair.
Okay, and I'll give a brief of the AMC conference. And possibly others. All right. So with that, we would need an approval of the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Meyer, second by Commissioner Olson to approve the agenda as presented. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, approved. Ms. Holte, would you read the consent business into the record, please?
Absolutely. 7.1, approve conditional use permit for James and Charlene Allen. 7.2, approve conditional use permit for Arnold Hoff. 7.3, approve extension of an interim assessor appointment and professional service agreement with Mauer County. 7.4, approve LG 220 gambling application for exempt permit, Southeast Minnesota Quail Forever 3060. 7.5, approve resolution to adopt 2025 hazard mitigation plan. 7.6, approve amendment number 2 for Minnesota Department of Human Services Adult Mental Health Grant Award for 2025-2026. 7.7, approve renewal of purchase of service and business associate agreements with Frederick Guardianship Services. 7.8, approve renewal of purchase of service agreement with Catholic Charities Diocese of Winona, Rochester for Guardian Conservator Services. 7.9, approve renewal of State of Minnesota Joint Powers Agreement with Career Force to provide Minnesota Family Investment Program and Diversionary Work Program. Employment and Training Services. 7.10, accept certificate of performance and authorize final payment to Scott Construction Incorporated for 2025 chip seal project. 7.11, approve updated insurance policy 3.05. 7.12, approve memorandum of agreement with Department Head Association. 7.13, approve memorandum of understanding with Supervisors Association. 7.14, approve memorandum of understanding with LELS 536 detention deputies. 7.15, approve memorandum of understanding with LELS 537 dispatchers. 7.16, approve First Amendment to sub-agreement with River, Soil, and Water Conservation District. 7.17, approve 2026-2027 Natural Resources Block Grant Agreement. 7.18, approve purchase of dive rescue equipment. And 7.19, confirm payment of disbursements.
Move to approve the consent business as it was read.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Meyer, seconded by Commissioner Vagley to approve the consent business as read. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, approved. I will have to, just a compliment to whoever worked on the memorandum of agreements for the newly enacted state program of, get the right name, is that family paid? Do I have it right? No.
Minnesota paid leave.
Minnesota paid leave, and that I appreciate that we've done that. For people know, that's a new program that the state of Minnesota has. It's kind of like an insurance program if you need to take extra time off from work. And it is a shared premium between employer and employees. And so that
If
was,
the union agrees.
yeah, and the unions did agree for the most, I think. Four, yes. Commissioner Vagley.
Just for the members of the audience, sometimes county board agendas can be confusing. If you were here for any of the conditional use permits or any of the other items under the consent, that was all.
Oh, they were there.
They were
there.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Good to double check. Those were all approved. So if you were here for that, you guys are good to go. You of course are welcome to stay for the whole meeting, but if you're curious, sometimes this is actually a short agenda for us this time of the year. It's only 282 pages. I don't know if it's hard to figure.
It's a lot for consent.
That's a lot.
That was a lot of consent items.
Yeah.
So it'd be for James Allen, Sharon Allen, and and Hoffs.
You Allen's, correct?
Hoffs.
Hoffs and Allens.
Okay, yeah.
So
they're
that, they
approved.
did get approved.
Right,
So,
with no changes.
no change.
Tell your dad hi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Okay, general business, 8.1, conduct public hearing on 2026 budget, 2026 fee schedule, and the transportation sales tax project.
Open, right?
Was there a sign up out in the hall?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you need a motion to open
Motion.
the
Yeah,
public?
we'll need that sign up sheet.
Are you making the motion?
Yeah,
Ms.
we need
Yeah,
a,
that's why I brought it up. I
Okay.
need a motion to.
I'll second that then.
okay, motion by Commissioner Elzing, second by Commissioner Meyer to open the public hearing. The group, I know we've got quite a few people. I'm not sure if everybody's going to speak. Do we want to limit an initial time to, can we put the 2-minute timer back
Sure.
up? And if you've got much more to say, we'll definitely allow, but 2 minutes just gives us an idea of a timing.
For starters, and you can also speak if you missed the sign up sheet, right?
Right, yes. Oh, yes, we'll allow, we only have 2 on the sign up sheet, but there was a lot of stuff out there. So, but on the sign up sheet, sign up sheet printed, Pat Moga.
Good evening, Commissioners. I looked at the 2026 budget and I have a few questions or maybe just questions. The one thing that I was wondering if things changed with the sales tax fund, which is funding the jail, because you're moving out 1.9 million and you're only paying 1.5, so you're actually using $5 million for other expenses within your budget, or $500,000 within your budget. I was just wondering what Fund 31 was, and I'm thinking that's maybe a bond that you're thinking about doing in 26, but I did see that you are funding it in 25. And then another item that I noticed that is for the for your levy, the 2025 levy and the 26 levy are the exact same amounts. So I don't see that the levy amount is in your 25 budget yet. And then jumping all over here. Then I was going to mention about your capital. I've tried to follow that capital, but I'm kind of really haven't seen what your numbers are, because last year when you started out, you were going to spend 1.5 of levy, but of reserves, but you only had 1.1 million. And then came around and you actually brought some monies over that weren't spent from 25. And I think it's up to like 4.3 million, which I think $2 million is for the roof. So you have about 2.3. So I just recommend that maybe you guys should just list out what you're spending and where it's coming from, because you're kind of using all the money, but I think you also have money that's supposed to be used for future, like you're putting away to bank for something, one of those items being IT. And I think it would be just more transparent if you actually had it listed out of where the money's coming from and is it in the bank or not in the bank. And the other thing I did notice on the Minnesota paid leave, that I see it's in your budget. I was trying to figure out what percentage, because it looks like it's all over, and I don't know if that's just being changed as the unions are approving it. Because right now, one place it was the 0.4, someplace it was different. So I thought maybe it's because the unions hadn't approved. It's good night. Yeah, and if you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you.
And Pat, if you could maybe make a list of your questions, I don't know if you've met our new finance director. And
Bill, could you raise your hand?
yeah, Phil, you have a unique insight, having been in that position. If you could maybe make a list and work with Phil on getting the right answers.
Phil, if you have a card or something, then I could even give you a phone call, or you can call me. Sure. Maybe we can talk later.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Ted Hazelton.
Ted Hazelton, 1073 West Fifth. I would like to talk about the proposed budget and the tax levy. Over 12% is excessively high. I am semi-retired. I'm in the fireworks industry. I don't do anything from October through May. And I get Social Security disability. That's being increased by 2.8%. 5 to 7% is more palatable, which is similar to the school district in the city of Winona. I would really like the county board to scrutinize these proposed budgetary items, particularly donating to outdoor or outside activities and outside services. I have a little sheet here. For example, the Selco Library, it's required by statute of a contribution of $197,715. But in the budget, it's $274,417. That's a $76,702 above and beyond. Then you go further down, and $167,000 for the Soil and Water Conservation District. And then there's outside agencies such as the Women's Resource Center, volunteer services, Project Fine and whatnot. I have this here from Project Fine, and they bring in almost $1.9 million, and the county is giving them 45,000. I don't think taxpayer dollars should cover that. If people want to donate to these outside organizations, so be it. Why should taxpayers have to pay that? And then we're stuck with a 12% plus levy increase. It's unsustainable for people on fixed incomes. And I qualify with that since I'm a seasonal employee and I get Social Security. So I would ask that this needs to be really looked at along with some of the salaries that some of the department heads and administration get in this county that make more than our governor of Minnesota. So please look into this and try to cut where you can. We don't need a status quo or with stuff like that. And it ain't fair to those that have limited income, such as myself and senior citizens and those with disabilities. So I would really implore the board to pare it back a little bit. It's unsustainable. And it's double what the other taxing entities are proposing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anybody else that would wish to address the county board about? This would be the time.
My name is Kelly O'Neill, 29182 Hartwood Drive, Rushford, which is in Winona County. I would just like to make the board aware that our average property tax increase from 2023 to 2026 proposed is in excess of 28%. I have testified before that our window on the efficacy or efficiency with which Winona County runs is the Winona County Highway Department, on which we have a daily observation. We went through County Road 19, the last iteration of the proposed fixes to County Road 19 more than a decade ago. We went to court with Mrs. Sonneman representing Winona County to our intention was to prevent stupidity or squandering of resources in that first County Road 19 reconstruction. Now we are faced with a subsequent County Road 19 reconstruction. And I think it is pretty similar to the report released this week of the Special Inspector General report of what happened to the $140 billion that was spent over a handful of administrations over 20 years in Afghanistan. And the punchline being that 30% of that was utterly squandered. I would like to ask for a show of hands of the number of board members who have been on County Road 19 in the last, pick your time frame, or let alone Gainey Hill. I drive County Road 19 probably more than any other Winona County resident, or at least as much as any. The day before yesterday, I think, maybe yesterday morning, the rock portion of Gainey Hill, County Road 19, was safer than the blacktop portion. The blacktop portion has been unrepaired since we've been here, so a third of a century. It's a third world road. Surely it would need repair prior to realigning the hill, which Commissioner Ward referred to the last time we went through this as Wiscoy's Yosemite. I believe the current proposal from Mr. Kramer is to essentially mountaintop removal, to take the top portion off and put it on the bottom of that road. And it is just an aberration that this county board would approve expenditures of those resources and at the same time have our ante increased by 28% in a handful of years. So I beseech you to please be a little more sensible about your county highway investments. You have a fiduciary responsibility to the taxpayers of Winona County. We don't grow soybeans, so we don't get a Trump check. It's pretty damn difficult, pardon my French. And these tax increases do not assist.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you very much. Anyone else wishing to address the county board? Becky.
Hello, Becky Clark, 18635 County Road 114, Rolling Stone, Minnesota. I would like to talk about the tax increase for farmers and farmland. Over 12% is a lot right now, with commodity prices dairy prices being lower than the cost of production. We're going into probably at least a 3-year downturn, and having these tax increases is really, really hurting, especially when you rent land and, those people need to be whole with this huge tax increase. So some of them are more than $50 an acre that they need to raise in order to pay for some of these proposed taxes. And that's a lot on farmers and their bottom line, especially when you guys have animal caps where you can't grow to create more revenue when you put on that. And also, like the dog kennel thing is the same. You put a cap on what people can do out in the country to make money, and it's really hard. So either you need to exempt us from some of this spending, or let the people in the country do what they need to do to foot the tax bill you guys are asking for. Thank you.
Well, maybe we could, would you be willing to give us so many cows to pay your taxes? And because we have a hunger problem in this country too, maybe we could provide the food shelter with some meat and milk. I mean, that's what they did in the old days. They brought in so many chickens or ducks or eggs and paid their taxes. Maybe we need to look at something like that. I don't know. I mean, you're absolutely right. It's not sustainable. So how do we make it sustainable? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Becky.
I don't want to milk that cow though. I did enough of that when I was young. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Chelsea, are you going to speak?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right.
Chelsea Wilbright, Westby Township. I second your concerns. I live on County Road 19, and with these last falls, the gravel was safer than the pavement. That's not why I'm here, though. The statutes I'm passing out are statutes that I sent you all ahead of the levy being decided last year. They're the statutes that allow the auditor and the treasurer to respectively to appoint deputies. The next statutes respectively are in there, say that yes, the county board sets the levy, but nothing in the subdivision shall limit my right to appoint deputies. We're struggling in my department. I'm still working on abatements for this year. I've got about a dozen historical land record issues that are gonna take considerable time to straighten out. We're constantly against deadlines. The tax software has not helped that situation, but it's not all. We're supposed to have a tax forfeiture sale every year. Pre-Tyler versus Hennepin, we were supposed to have a tax forfeiture sale every year. Now we have to have it done within 6 months of the property's forfeiting. We've had one in the last 12 years. When auditor treasurer were separate departments, they each had 2 deputies. That's 6 people doing the job that I'm trying to do with 3. It's not working. Admin is trying to help and take some load off. I don't think that shelling out my statutory responsibilities is the long-term answer. If other departments have that capability or have that availability long-term, then shift an FTE to the auditor treasurer's department. David Bear spoke to you guys after an error with the tax system earlier this year, causing us to send out several tax statements as revised, asking you to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Staffing my department appropriately is how we ensure it doesn't happen again. We need time to proof before we're mailing on the last day, and we have been for a decade. Last consideration is not including the libraries. There's 465,000 in donations to outside entities. The auditor treasurer position on here is quoted at 85,000. Please consider staffing what we are statutorily required to do before donating tax dollars. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to address the county board? Evening.
Hi, I'm David Unruh, 24163 County Road 110, Winona. I farm. I'd like to reiterate Kelly O'Neill's and Becky's position on the taxes, and this is not sustainable for us in production ag. I cannot raise my price for soybeans by a penny to try to increase my income. I have to suck it up. Everything's going up. What's gonna end up happening is these farms, Winona County, Winona County on average, 50% of us, 160 acre farm is woods, it's 80. That maybe gives you an income once every 20 years. Those are all gonna get sold off. Then you guys are gonna have to deal with everybody wanting to build a house and easements and right of ways. And you guys are up for, I've got a landlocked 80 I'd like to sell. I gotta give easement across 3 80s to get to it. So you guys gotta come up with a different way to come up with this funding. If you keep taxing us, we're living a real life Yellowstone here. You're gonna tax us off things that our forefathers passed down for generations. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mark Clark, 22199 Highway 248, Rolling Stone, Minnesota. Good evening again. I'm here to talk about the extra large tax increase. I have read the reasoning for the extra large tax increase you have planned for the taxpayers of Winona County. Your labor costs are increasing, yes. But all of the businesses in the county are also facing increased labor costs. Unfunded mandates from the state. All workers in the state and businesses are also paying for new unfunded mandates from the state. Road maintenance costs are up. Parts to maintain vehicles and machinery are sky high, not only affecting the county, but everyone living and working here, especially businesses. Right now, agriculture is in a downturn as the price of corn, soybeans, and dairy are well below the cost of production. So the extra large tax increase will be difficult for people living on fixed incomes, farmers, and other businesses throughout the county who have most of the same issues that Winona County has. Plus an extra large tax bill with no one to send a bill to when our costs go up. As a county, you need to become more efficient like the private sector businesses have to be. In the last 15 years, Winona County's population has fallen by 3.8%. Did the county staff fall by that much? With computers, AI, and other technology, you need to become more efficient with our tax dollars. And I could save you $150,000 right now. I believe you wasted $150,000 on hiring a consultant for updating the comprehensive plan. You have talented staff on hand that could have done a better job for less. And that's a story for another day, but that is very, very not going well in the county as a comp plan. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marco.
Is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona County Board?
Hi,
Good evening.
I'm Dr. Patty Barch. We own two properties in Winona County, one on County Road 1 in the Crescent and one agricultural property in, we got the two tax bills on the same day. And the homestead where we live, the total increase was 4.9%. But our agricultural property, that's 120 acres, that's been in the family for many years, increased by 95.1%. And that we're just having a hard time wrapping our head around that when
Sorry, in value or?
the total excluding special assessments increased 95.16%. The valuation only went up about 10%.
Okay, that needs to be verified with,
Yeah.
with.
Yeah.
Yeah, with.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
That does
That's-
not make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially if your valuation didn't increase. I think.
Yeah, it only went up by 10%, but the taxes doubled.
Yeah,
So,
no,
okay.
I hope that's not right.
Yeah.
I won't,
So do
I don't
we.
know the system that well, but talk to Ms. Wilbright, and then if you need to, the assessors or Ms. Wilbright can put you in touch with the.
Thank you so
assessors.
much.
You need to check that out. And if any, and one of the things there too is if you can check with your neighbors, did they have something similar happen to them, Ms. Barge?
I don't know.
Yeah, just by chance.
Yeah.
If the neighborhood all changed, yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Did you have more to say, please? No. Okay. We'll get you with the right people. Is there anyone else wishing to address the county board?
Right spot, but
Yeah.
I have a similar issue to her, and I thought I was getting thrown to the wolves.
Okay.
51% value increase or the tax increase. My name's Tom Hall. I am not a resident of Winona County.
But you
I
only-
am a owner of a business, a disabled vet at that, trying to make it. But soon I won't be an owner. I won't even be a caretaker of it because a laundromat does not sustain this. I mean,
So this
what,
is this is a commercial property that went?
correct.
Okay.
What my value goes up is gonna be 78,000 quarters that I have to make additional.
78,000 quarters.
You know, in the laundromat, it's not a very lucrative business.
No, it's a
I mean-
necessity. Touch base with Miss Wilbright and let's check into it. That seems very, but then commercial taxes is a whole nother
Tell me about it.
animal. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona County Board? I hope you three students back there are paying attention, so when you get out in the real world,
There's
you know what,
nothing for free.
yeah, there's nothing free. Get ready to pay your taxes.
Regardless of what they teach you.
Or if, go home and ask your parents what their taxes did. Yes, sir.
Getting back to that about asking neighbors,
Yes.
the insurance company across the street, their taxes increased $200. The other businesses I've talked to, it's $200 and $300. I don't have a problem paying that, but
Sure.
1,800 is,
That's,
A lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's,
be right.
especially when you can't even make that much.
no, let's check into it. But that's good to know because then that triggered concern, which is what you need to do. Is there anyone else wishing to address the Winona County Board? Anybody online? I don't see anybody stepping up. Okay, so we would entertain a motion to close the public. hearing.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Elzing, second by Commissioner Meyer to close the public hearing. We'll let people, yeah. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
One other thing I'd have.
Yes, yeah, go ahead.
So ironically, I called the county and they gave me a contact number of a guy named Josh. His cell phone number. I called it for a week now. And today was the first time
Is that you, Josh?
that there was anything that his voicemail was full every day, except today.
Okay.
And yes, my number is on your phone. I called you
Number
today.
is, I've got a whole bunch of spam here.
507-272-7338. Today was the first
I have
day.
you today, but that's it.
Well, I couldn't leave a message any other day because.
But it doesn't even show that you called.
But if you talk with Miss Wilbright, she'll.
Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get you taken care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see every call I've made. You're not even on here till today, right here.
Why
If-
would they have given?
If you want to look at my phone, I can show you that
I don't disbelieve you. I'm sitting, let's right here.
I'm just
You can
trying to make-
certainly Take a look. Yeah,
But we need
That's
to
very
get you with
interesting.
staff that have the facts and the figures.
but I will
we don't.
say, I've had a lot of problems with this phone. I've been down to IT many times with this thing and I've had many issues with it, so it doesn't surprise me. By no means was it,
What I'm telling you, is
yeah.
bad publicity travels like a rock.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, and by no means was I definitely trying to avoid you. So I get phone calls all the time, so that's
Do you
very odd.
Do you remember what staff person gave you a commissioner number by chance? I mean, we don't have the facts or, okay, unfortunately, we don't have the records, the parcels and everything like that. So, if I got that call, I would get you with staff to answer those questions because I don't have that information or access to the information. So I apologize.
And
I'm
thank you for
sorry.
coming.
That,
I mean,
yeah,
it's just not
no,
sustainable.
it's not professional either for them to.
It's just very odd, sir. I mean, I literally only have about 10 voicemails I've saved in here. And there's a full record of every call that I have for months.
Only day I could leave a voicemail.
Well, that's what's odd is you can see here, I only have about maybe 10 or 12
You
voicemails,
need
which
to
would never max out your
Get that
voicemail.
phone fixed, Commissioner Elzing.
I've never liked this since day one, since I've got it. And it's a county phone and I've had issues.
Good time not answering.
No, I don't think so. No.
Probably to your best interest. Don't
Yeah.
feel bad.
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, let's
sounds
hope-
like it.
hope
Well,
things
I just
get-
wanted to apologize. It definitely wasn't intentional.
You didn't do it intentionally, there's nothing to apologize for.
Right.
Okay,
Hmm.
all right.
It's interesting.
We'll get you with the right people. Okay, the wishes of the board then. We do have,
We did not vote to close the.
I'm sorry. All those in favor of closing the public session, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, the public session is closed.
You are on there today. And your voicemail is actually on there, but it was at 3:50, so I would have been getting ready to come to the meeting.
Okay, so the wishes of the board. We do have some documents in our packet. We have the fee schedule in our packet. and the transportation sales projects in the packet. Do we want to vote on them as a whole, or
Well,
what's the wishes of the board?
I don't think.
Or do they need to be approved tonight, or just actually the next meeting, which is the,
Public hearing.
that's December, what the date? That's December 23rd at 9 o'clock in the morning, then that's when the final. So if anybody has any other issues, they could bring them to the board prior to that vote. That'll be a voting on the levy. Okay,
Text messages.
all right.
It's very odd.
I did have a question on the fees. Only they were reviewed by all departments that have the fees. And I did see some did get adjusted. So we've went through the process of looking at all of them. Okay. And anybody that runs into a fee that seems in error, we always can change fees, during the year. It's not a one and done thing. We can correct and change if there's something that has misstepped or something in a process. Okay, all right. We'll move on then to 8.2, receive the jail update. Good evening, Chief Deputy Mueller. Uh-oh, you're taking your coat off. We're getting serious now?
You didn't get invited on the cruise?
Yeah, I didn't get to go on the cruise. Commissioners, thank you. Jeff Mueller, I'm the Chief Deputy with the Sheriff's Department. I was asked to come tonight to give you a update on the jail. So put together a couple of notes, just real quick, a little bit of history on it. October of 2016 is when we initially got our classification reduction from the Department of Corrections that sent us down to a 90-day lockup facility. September of 2018 is when we got our notice from the Department of Corrections that they would be closing us with a sunset date for that. The jail officially opened. It was December of 23 is when the jail officially opened, and we're open for business. We're officially up and running right now. All of our programs that we have implemented in the jail are up and running, fully staffed at this point with a little bit of variations. A couple people have come and gone, but pretty much fully staffed up to this point. Just a real brief on the jail itself, just to give you a little bit of a refresher on it. The jail right now is an 80-bed jail, not to be confused with how many housing units there are. There's 51 housing units in the jail. If you think of a housing unit as a cell, of those 51 housing units, 29 of those are double bunked, which gives you the total of 80 beds when you add that up. The previous jail where we came from, a little bit deceiving in that, but the upstairs, prior to building that annex downstairs, that was a 37-bed jail upstairs. Downstairs in the annex was a 44-bed facility with a total of 81 beds in the prior old jail, when you add the annex and the upstairs together. Without getting real deep into the weeds on that and everything else, the 80 beds that we currently have is all prefaced on, doesn't mean you can have 80 people in jail at any one time. It all depends on the type of classification that the person has while they're in jail. And also, you can only operate the jail technically at a 95% capacity, making room for new arrests. So technically, if we were completely full, it would be 74 people that we'd be able to have in jail. Of the 51 housing units that we have that I had mentioned, 15 of those housing units are actual mental health beds in housing units. What does that mean? I think everybody, commissioner-wise at least, has toured the jail or has seen the jail. Our mental health rooms that we have, as I always describe it, is anything one piece in a vacuum doesn't mean a whole lot, but when you put it all together is what gets us to the mental health, softer rooms, natural light, things like that, make them our mental health beds. Currently right now, our average daily population is about 20.25. One interesting point that I'd always make to that when we talk about our average daily population that we have in our jail, the average daily bookings, so the people that are coming into our jail, right, on an average daily basis, right now is 4.4. Prior to building our jail, and with the old jail, it was roughly 4.6. Our average daily bookings are the exact same as they've always been, roughly, with a little bit of variation to that. The average length of stay has gone down a little bit. Males are staying about 8.65 days. Females are staying about 5.69 days on average is what the numbers have shown us for that. Staffing levels haven't changed in the jail at all since from our old jail to our new jail. We're still running with the same number of FTEs that we have from the old jail. Haven't increased that at all.
So right there, is that with that, in my opinion, a low population, is that the minimum that the staffing we can do, or
Yes.
where does that fall?
So just a little bit about the staffing real quick without, once again, I don't want to get real deep into the weeds on it, but we're regulated by staffing by the Department of Corrections.
Correct.
The Department of Corrections says, this is the amount of staff that you have to operate the facility you have with the numbers that you're running. So yes, is the short answer to that. A lot more goes into all that, but that's the short answer
Okay,
for
we're
it.
following the guidelines. We're
Right.
not excess, because when you wanted to build that big jail, in my opinion, I think our staffing costs were considerably higher because it was going to require more people.
Say that
But
one
we're-
more time.
Well, when we built the larger capacity jail, if it was near capacity, we would have quite a few additional staff, correct?
No,
Oh, we wouldn't.
no,
So
that's not accurate.
Less.
Yeah, that's not accurate.
You missed his capacity talk, where he said that the jail isn't.
The beauty, the right word's not beauty. The efficiency of this new jail is that, and the argument has always been, with the design of the jail that we currently have right now, compared to with the design of the jail that we had before, the reason that we weren't having to increase the number of employees or anything else is literally because the design of the jail. We're able to watch more people, for lack of a better term, with less people. Why is that? Because of the design of the jail. That podular design, in essence, one person standing right here, looking around saying, okay, I can see you all.
So if I'm sorry, to understand this, so we've been hovering around 15 to 20. I look at it a couple of times. What if we went up to 40, we would need more staff, or
We
no?
wouldn't need more staff. I will say, to give you one point, that when we reach a certain capacity, there is more, what is the, the assistant jail administrator, or can't remember the AGA. So there would be potentially one more staff, but that's if you maintain also that level for a period of time. So it's not where, okay, we got up to 45 one day. Now that triggers that you need to hire an additional staff or something like that. Unfortunately, I don't have at the tip of my finger what that number is that they have, but there is a level that you get to, but you have to maintain that level for a period of time also before you have that requirement. One thing it kind of goes along the jail, but I want to make a note of it, and it probably came up in budgetary talks too, but I think that it's a big deal to affect the budget, is a law change related to the jail that has to do with medication. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. Maybe you've discussed that one to death already, but just that's one that, yeah, that one that's probably going to affect us and is affecting us. It's not maybe, I mean, it's happening right now. It's in the law, and we're spending money on it right now.
And the money is being spent on paperwork to administer, to check?
The money's being spent on medications.
We're actually having to buy the medicine?
There you go.
also? Okay, they can't bring anything in.
No, the medications, in essence, there's a lot to the law, but
Prices, or are you paying Walmart prices? You know, if you get an aspirin in the hospital, it's
Yeah.
probably $10, type of
Walmart
thing.
prices.
Walmart price, okay.
With some, I mean, I say that a little bit jokingly because it's not really true. There is certain regulations for generics versus name brands and
Yeah.
things like that they have regulations on that for. Yeah, so, but that's one of the big ones that are kind of affecting us right now for that. Any other questions I can answer for you about the jail, just in general, since it's been open, or anything like that?
I mean, I understood that we kept someone in the Olmsted County Jail for a while. That big murder case, but otherwise, we are keeping all of our prisoners here. We're not having to put them in other jails.
Yes, that's correct. We haven't housed anybody out in another jail, and I don't know even how long. And that one specific situation that you're even talking about there, that was right in the flux of the jail being built and everything else.
Okay.
Once we obtained capacity and the jail was opened,
They came back.
they came back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question regarding juveniles. Are we using Houston County?
We are. Yep. We are utilizing Houston County when the need arises, at least anyway.
Under contract or just?
No contract.
Case by case.
Case by case. Yep. No contract that we've done with Houston County or anything like that. So we're using them as they have needed. It's worked out good so far, meaning that they've had the bed space for that when it's been needed anyway. So it's been helpful for that.
Just to
Commissioner Elsing.
clear something up. So we're covering the cost of some of these medications, correct?
All of the medications, yep.
Regardless of whether they can or have an additional way to get it to their own insurance, et cetera. There's no repay back program, no way to get it. It's just on us, right?
No, there is some recuperation if they do have insurances and things like that, that they were able to. The hard truth is the folks that unfortunately we're dealing with, that's not an option a lot of times, that we're able to recoup through that.
But of course, if your average booking or stay is 8.6 and 5.6, I'm sure we're not buying a 30-day prescription fill for them.
Well, no, but you also have, there is in the law, when you read it, there's a amount that they have to be given when they leave the jail too. I don't know, honestly, sitting here without looking at the law first, but it isn't the day you walk out of jail, you're done. There's a supply that you do have. Now it's a limited, and I don't know the exact amount of that, however, though.
It's adding to every county in the state of Minnesota.
Yeah, it was a big topic, I guess,
One of
is
the
to
many things
say.
the state legislature provided us with an opportunity to
Well,
become
one
a
of the-
prescription
Chase them
drug
to
plan.
another county.
Pardon me?
We just chase them to another county.
Yeah, we could.
Well, not to get on the soapbox too much about it, but one of the things that was frustrating probably to the sheriffs in the state in general about it was the consultation between our doctors in the jail and the doctors that people have on the outside, at least anyway. And once again, a little bit into the weeds on the law, but the short version of it is the doctor on the outside can overrule the doctor on the inside, our jail doctor, as to if our jail doctor, in a very simplified version, if our jail doctor says, we don't think you need this medication, we think that you should be on this medication, and they have a consultation with the outside doctor and the outside doctor disagrees with that, you have to go with what the outside doctor says.
Sure. Yep.
Dave Sando used to just say, take it out of town, Helsing. Maybe we should, when I lived in Lewiston, so maybe we should just do that in Winona County. Can't we just shoo them out of the county?
Shoo them out of the county, yeah.
It's an unfunded mandate. We always talk about those and such, and having a husband who just went for his 1-year checkup today, and I said, what drugs did they take you off of? Because he keeps talking, wanting to get off of them, and a doctor is very reluctant to take them off anything, because what if? It's what if?
Yeah. In general, just the overview, kind of sum it up, unless you have more questions for it, though, just that.
Maybe I'll follow, not tonight. When we built this and everything, it was all this programming and all these good, good programs and everything. But I'm concerned with that short stay, how much impact that has. And maybe somebody that does some of this program at some time in a cold day in January, there's nothing else to talk about. It can come in and give us a little, how is that part of the jail running? I have no idea.
Our programmers are very passionate people. They'd come and love to talk to you for hours on end about the programs and the effects that it has and the positive impacts that they have the opportunity to make in the short periods of time that they're seeing people.
Okay, and we should have some statistics to go along with it.
Is Sergeant Horst still in charge of?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
who could come and talk.
Sergeant Kelsey Horst is our current programmer.
Okay, well, a condensed, presentation.
Sure.
I think some facts, numbers and
Because there was the CJCC had a work group for a while where it was in the process of recruiting people to come do that programming.
The only thing I guess
They're
I'll,
not meeting any.
yeah, the only thing I'll say to it is our program as a compared to type situation. So our programs compared to our old jail, compared to the programs we have now, are a lot more robust. I don't have the numbers in front of me. She'd be able to give you all that, but if you're looking even for a comparison to say, well, here's just number and names of the programs we had in the old jail compared to the names and numbers of the programs that we have in the new jail.
Sure. I just, with such a short stay, the impact, usually it takes a long time to change a behavior.
Well, I mean,
8 days.
All
is gonna-
anecdotal and everything else, right? But that's the average stay. We have people that stay a lot longer than that too.
Sure.
Up to 1 year is what they can stay. So, yeah, however that affects those people, I guess would be a
I'd
question
like to know
too.
what it's doing.
You know, if Steve
Commissioner Olson?
Buswell was here, he'd still be talking. so.
Aren't you glad you got me? He wanted to phone in from the ship. And I said, no, I'll just go over and I'll take care of it.
I'm
So-
not paying for that.
But in general, I mean, the jail it's up and running. We've had, no, horror stories or anything like that we've had up to this point. It's, been running smoothly. And, we look forward to continuing to keep that going for you anyway.
Commissioner
Are the
Olson?
mechanical operations running okay?
Yeah, they are. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you, there's still some hiccups, that we're still dealing with on that to try to get all that, smoothed out. I'd let Aaron Lafee probably talk about that as much as myself or Buswell, even on that sort of thing. He's, I'll be honest with you, turned a lot of that over to him, to Aaron, to try to get that worked out with the different, vendors and things like that, who kind of deal more within that area and have more of the expertise to deal with that.
Commissioner Olson?
It's a catch-22. You know, to justify the jail, we're looking for more people in it, right? But at the same time, the more people in it, the more cost there is. So you're gonna find a complaint on either side. And the reality of it is here it is, and now let's do it as absolutely as efficient as possible.
Well, my catchphrase that I've always used with the jail that Ron, the sheriff's, was that he believes in compassionate accountability. So when somebody does something wrong, they should be held accountable. But there's chances for people too.
All right.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you for coming.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
All right. 8.3, discuss, approve SEMSHRA special benefit tax levy resolution and approve budget for fiscal 2026. And I know Buffy's here. There she is in her
Evening.
festive vest. You're looking good.
Thank you. Good evening. I'm Buffy Baranik, former executive director for SEMSHRA, now consulting. That's why I'm here tonight, to talk about our 2026 final levy request. Our initial levy request was 144,000. In September, we set that at 130,000. We had a lengthy discussion on that, and we left it at the 130, with that difference being taken out of the Housing Trust Fund. So the levy request is identical to what was presented, and I can go through that in detail if you'd like me to. And then we just took out that difference out of the Housing Trust Fund. So the contribution, rather than being a full 25,000 to the Housing Trust Fund, is $10,766. Our levy is broken down into basically three components. The first being the general fund expenses, just shy of $70,000. The second component being community and housing development of $49,500. That component is broken up into some funding of SEMSHRA staff, along with $15,000 that is pledged to the Lewiston bonds, and $10,000 for community development grant match money. That's our small cities grants that we are applying for in 2026. And then the final component being the Housing Trust Fund. I'll just pause there to see if there are any questions regarding the levy.
Commissioner Vagley.
Thank you, Buffy, for coming tonight. Could you remind me what is the current balance of the Housing Trust Fund?
We have the Housing Trust Fund dollars obligated. So we have two grants that were funded. That being the Habitat for Humanity loan for the homes being built in South Fork, and a rehab on a Lewiston project for an apartment of about 70,000.
The Habitat will happen.
I am hopeful that that will happen.
Wonderful.
Yes.
So how much is the full committed amount?
70, a little over 225,000 roughly, right around that number.
Thank you. I'm glad to hear that the Habitat will
I am,
hopefully happen.
yeah, yes.
Thank you.
Commissioner Vagley.
Just to get on the table, not meant to stop discussion, but I'll move to approve resolution 2025, number 2025, to set the levy at the $130,000 amount for SEMSHRA.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Vagley, second by Commissioner Meyer to approve the SEMSHA levy for the requested amount of $130,000 for 2026. Discussion. I'm not comfortable with quite that much. SEMSHA does a great job. Buffy's leaving us. Now, will the next person do as great a job? That's yet to be determined. We haven't, there is a search committee and they're working on employment and stuff. But now, this is a complex organization and funding and everything, and I've always depended on Buffy to help me navigate this. But now we had a TIF district in St. Charles that is closed, but now that TIF money is dedicated to, through the SEMSHA board to the Housing Trust Fund.
Yes.
Correct.
I'm
So
gonna,
we're putting some extra money in there with that.
correct.
And that was, remind me the figure again?
Going to be about $90,000 a year.
Right.
Yeah.
So with.
I just want to, just real
Yeah.
quick on that one.
Yeah.
So
It's something
there's,
different.
there's
that
a,
happened.
there's a loan on the books that's due to SEMSHA.
Right.
And that money, if the money was paid back to SEMSHA and it wasn't put into the Housing Trust Fund, it could be put in the general fund, which means it could be spent in any other counties.
County.
So that trying to be good financial stewards of your money, our decision was to put that into the Housing Trust Fund
Right. Right.
Where we want to come.
for Winona County.
Right,
Yes.
right. And that's that South Fork project predates me. That was one of the last things Commissioner Heim
Mhm.
and previous Joe Wheeler
Mhm.
made happen and stuff. So we're actually putting more money in our trust fund from that. So
Correct.
I would like to advocate for my even $100,000 for SEMSHA. I don't know if anybody else has the same feelings or they're willing to go
Probably we need to vote on the first motion, and then that if it fails, I could entertain another one.
Well, I just want to know if there's anybody else that supports reducing it.
I,
If not, then it's a moot point.
I don't know what happened to this gentleman trying to call me, and most people call me on my other phone anyway, but the amount of people that have said we can't withstand this, and countless farmers especially are the ones that are saying, hey, there's an issue here and we've got to do something about it. So it's, again, every one of these groups for the most part is just, and you can say it's great, but there comes to a point we're footing the bill, and people right now are just saying, hey, we until this thing gets to a point where it's sustainable, we've got to pick and choose our battles. And so I'm in the same boat. You know, it's always tough to say no. It's the hardest thing to do in any of these government positions or as a business owner. But, you know, it isn't realistic to continue to keep giving to some of these over and over, especially when they're well-funded and there's other means to gain revenue. That's the biggest thing. You know, nobody walks in and donates to the highway department to fix a road. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat. They're all great organizations, but we have to start capping and reducing to some extent.
I just reiterate that this is out county. It's not the city of Winona. Commissioner Olson.
Question, you indicated that your original request was
144, 234. Last year's levy was 126, 927.
thank you.
And SEMSHA does do the Section 8 for the city of Winona. And
That is correct.
and that's, Buffy will leave this legacy with, we lose less money because we did that. That they contribute a very small, couple $1,000?
Couple thousand. Yeah.
Couple $1,000 to administer the Section 8. And I can guarantee if you went over to the projects, there's quite a few people gracefully living, but using Section 8 dollars in the city of Winona. And they're just, city of Winona just, I believe they aren't paying their fair share for even administrating that one single program. So we have a motion, we have a second to approve the levy at $130,000. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay?
Nay.
Nay. It does carry 3-2. All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Congratulations on your.
Yeah, thank you very
And-
much. It's been a
Yeah, and
pleasure
Buffy's
working
going
with
to
all of you.
Michigan too. I don't know what the draw of a Michigan is.
Go south.
Okay,
Thank you,
Sheila
Yes.
is moving into a house that is right on the shore of Lake Superior.
Oh,
She
we have
showed
to-
me a picture. It was-
oh,
it's
we
gonna
have
be
to
amazing.
get her forwarding address and if we're ever in
Go
Michigan.
visit her, yeah.
Look at her, look her up.
No.
There you go. Okay, moving into 8.4, page 279, discuss and adopt the Commissioner 2026 salaries. And this was tabled from last meeting, so that we had a full county board to discuss this. All right, discussion. Commissioner Vagley.
I'd like to move to approve. They're all the same numbers, correct? The motions. It'd be the resolution that would increase it to $25,024.
I think that's, well, yeah, is it?
The second one, I believe.
B?
Yeah, they do. The resolutions have the same number, right? 2025, but it's
So,
B. It
yeah.
would be B.
Thank you. It'd be,
Okay.
B, this is the one that would, they would make an increase for the first time in roughly 14 years, et cetera. The thinking is, I know this is tough during a tough budgetary year, is to make small changes over time instead of having to do like the city has done or other entities where later on, when you want to get remotely close to what other public bodies of the private sector are paying, you need to make a larger increase later on. So I think smaller increases over time is a more effective way to address these changes, incremental changes over time.
Okay, so that was a motion to adopt resolution B.
Yes.
Do we have a second?
Leave it as is for this year.
Have a second.
For the purposes of discussion, I will second.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner Olson. Okay, discussion.
Madam Chair, I'm
Yes,
not
Commissioner
supportive,
Meyer.
not in support of this motion. I think at a year when we've heard a lot of people tell us the taxes are too high, I'm not giving myself a raise.
Commissioner Elsing.
I agree with the concept of a little at a time because it will get out of hand. I've brought this up many times. I'm definitely not here for the money. But you know, there will be people that will probably need that as an income, and we need good people and entice good people on these boards. So it does need to happen at some point, and my fear is it will end up. I've said it from the very beginning, it will make national news when you go to double it or some crazy thing. So, but again, I'm gonna stick true to what I've said before, and we might find ourselves on the front page, or somebody might someday having to do it, but I just think this year, I would be at a zero as much as I appreciate, that's good business sense, the way you approached it, but I'm gonna vote zero myself.
I could not tell till the very end.
Well, and I would also, some of the same comments. I would hope nobody wants this job for a paycheck. Because the things you deal with don't, the pay isn't, and I just came from AMC and we got states, different sized counties across the state. And I talked to some, Hennepin and Ramsey, and they get paid more than
Those
the
are real
governor does.
jobs, yeah.
They
They're
are
real-
full-time,
they're
they are
real
full-time jobs.
Staff, professional staff.
With staff, yes,
True.
I
6
know
figures,
that,
man.
I know that, Commissioner Vagley. But his son has been hired by one of them.
Hennepin County, 2 weeks ago.
But Winona County we have set this up with important staff positions and our meeting schedules and everything that, again, like I said, it's a very difficult job to have because of the scheduling to schedule a day's, work around it. But I would hope nobody would take the job for the paycheck, because I do strongly feel that it's a certain amount of community, service and public service. And so I will not support that. And it is a small, what is it? I don't know, I didn't get my calculator out.
788.
Yeah, less than $800.
The issue becomes, though, in all fairness, is to say, and this is the way, being a business owner, is to say, if a commissioner hasn't received a raise in 14 years, and the justification is because it wasn't needed, it tells me 14 years ago they were overpaid.
Probably.
You can laugh, but that's in all seriousness. When it's your money, when it's your cash, and you got a list of employees out here, you got to write their paycheck out. And at the end of the day, they could walk away with their keys in their hand, and you're still held with a note that you might owe to the bank. it's not a laughing matter. And if we approach government the same way as that and to say, what is realistic? Is it, were we or weren't we, or has the attitude changed? And I don't think I can necessarily agree with Commissioner Ward that says somebody might not ever take this solely for the paycheck, because there's a lot of good people. In fact, most good people demand to get paid. That's the reality of it. And so at the end of the day, I just don't want to see that become a hindrance for good people running politics or their government like a well-run machine. And sometimes that takes having to entice people with payment.
Mr. Vaguely.
And I know we all need to pick and choose our battles and what hills we're gonna die on. This is not a hill I want to die on, but in other counties across the state, people leave the state legislature, both elected official and professional staff, and move to county government because it is more stable. And especially if you have a full-time job or a part-time job, the salary does make a difference to some people in terms of the kind of people, the talent that you hope to attract now and in the future, et cetera. In my first 8 years on the county board, I was Commissioner Ward can vouch for this. I did not want to raise it. My gosh, at some point in some decade, in some century, we need to increase it just even a little bit, et cetera, or else we will have to someone's got to make a very large increase.
Front news page.
Yes. Yep. So there's nothing I can convince you to follow through from last year.
Okay, so the original motion failed.
$788.
Do we have a motion?
You have a
There-
motion and a second.
Yes.
There wasn't a vote.
There wasn't a vote.
Didn't vote on the,
Oh, I thought we did. I thought we.
No, no.
Oh,
So
okay.
Vaguely moved,
There wasn't a vote.
seconded.
and we had discussion, but we didn't vote on.
On B.
On B,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay, so we're considering resolution B. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pose nay.
Nay.
Nay. Okay. that
Make a
fails.
motion for resolution A.
Okay,
0? Yeah, no.
Yep.
I'll second that.
okay, we have a motion made by Commissioner Elzing, second by Commissioner Meyer for resolution A, which would be maintaining the status quo in salary.
Oh, I thought that was the donation one. Oh.
You're more than welcome to. Nobody is stopping you one bit, Commissioner.
Send it over to the,
I donate all my vacation.
okay, so all those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay.
Nay.
Okay, that does pass.
Point
All right. Okay. All right.
You chicken.
Okay, we're down to committee reports. Commissioner Vaguely.
I know that it's not the Winona County shelter, and it's never going to intend it to be, but the only shelter in the county, this past Monday, there was a steering committee meeting. And every week when we have meetings, we get updates on numbers. The overnight shelter at Wesley United Methodist Church is now close to the capacity. There's been some nights where it's almost 20 guests are there. It's not every night, but it's getting close. Started off in the low high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But now there have been some nights where it's getting closer to 20. And the interesting thing, I think I mentioned this last time, is that unlike the past, it's either half or just over half female guests. And that hasn't happened in the past. In the past, it's been almost like 90% or more males. So that's an interesting, no one seems to know why that's happening as well, but just a quick update. And I'm not sure where to start with. This is somewhat related. There is, and maybe County Attorney Sonman and others, and maybe Ms. Chafee at some point, all these overlapping circles. There are the shelters, completely nonprofit, completely run that way. There is the hub, which was an interesting concept and worked for a while. And then there's RAP Plus, et cetera. We lost hub, right? There's right now the hub program. I would like to, at some point, could some of the county staff give us a summary about what happened? Because there are now holes. There are holes in our local safety net that is going to either come to us in the form of emergency rooms or probably jail cells. And also on Monday at the steering committee meeting, there was an individual, they had to call local law enforcement. Apparently this gentleman is on a waiting list to get on and become part of the RAP Plus program to receive more services. It's just all of these overlapping circles. But so I'm not quite sure if that's a question for the county administrator or for our new HHS director, but at some point, can you help us give us a summary of what happened with the hub? Because that was a major program for a while, and they've lost their community, all the navigators, everything, et cetera, and how that's going to possibly impact the county. And I realize that's something that might take a month or two to gather, but it'd be good to like, what happened and how's it gonna impact the county? Because that will impact us eventually.
I actually have been meeting with, the CEO, Rochelle.
Bill Schultz.
Every 2 weeks I meet with her, so we are in conversation, but I'll bring Ms. Chafee up to speed.
Thank you.
And we'll get a update to you. Thank
Like
you.
what happened and like, how is it gonna possibly, and maybe, I don't know for sure, but I believe in some form it's gonna impact, it's gonna flow to the county.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you. That's it.
all right. Commissioner Elsing?
A couple of things. Excuse me. Number one, obviously, we've all heard about the grain bin. Did that happen before or after the last meeting?
Shortly after.
Just after, yeah.
I saw your video.
What's it?
I saw your video.
Yeah, so interestingly enough, I happened to snap that, chief of police there, Jose, let me in. We were just by the barrier and I just happened to pull my phone up and pow, took it right when it fell. And so crazy how that travels. There was 126,000 views. I think I just pulled it up here. So it did make it all over. I did end up on KTTC and WCCO and a few other things, but yeah. Flash explosions and things like that. So even to be as close as well, we were probably right on that verge of harm's way. So, you know, St. Charles Police Department, obviously the first responders, EMTs, Winona County Emergency Management, you know, fire department, everybody that was involved, police department. So just wanted to say thank you to everybody because you don't know how bad those situations are going to get. And you kind of sit there a little bit in suspense. And if you would have asked me sitting there, I would have told you the grain bin next to it was full of grain until that thing came down and realized that it wasn't. So just wanted to say thanks to everybody for that. A couple other things just to bring up. One of them was, you know, obviously the tax statement issue. I kind of alluded to it before. I just, you know, anybody that's listening or watches these videos after, check your tax statements. I mean, if a few people are seeing mistakes, I would have to imagine there's a few more out there, and that's not to be, you know, facetious by any means, but just it's easier to fix them now than it is to fix them later. So I do also am interested in some of the things that Mr. Boga brought up about some of this capital outlay and some of this levy funding, especially the $500,000 situation. A little bit interested in getting some feedback or digging into that. And then also I want to bring up the comp plan. Mark Clark, Mr. Clark brought up. Unfortunately, I was not able to make it to the county, the township meeting last night. I talked with Commissioner Ward. My voice is better now than what it was yesterday slightly. I just, more than anything, I didn't want to get anybody sick, but I, contrary to popular belief, do take a fair amount of phone calls and I still can't figure that one out, but whatever. It is getting on the radar, and I've had multiple people bring this up, quite a few actually, about some of the issues that within. So I'm not sure if we got off track somewhere or what's going on, but I will start to dig into it a little bit deeper, especially now as we slow down a little bit with work. So whatever's happening there, I'm kind of discouraged by the negative feedback, and I was a little bit worried about that to begin with, and I don't want to say I'm correct or, hey, I told you so, but it is starting to go down that path. And so, you know, the people that are involved with that, let's just make sure that they're staying on even so much as changing the name of it, which I don't know the reason for most of this stuff, but let's make sure we don't let that get too far out of hand. The other one that I wanted to bring up was this financial advisory committee. And I think it's something that I've brought up a little bit too, not the last meeting, obviously I wasn't here, but the meeting before, just discussing, you know, we look at such a small part of the budget and scrutinize it, but I think there's a very large part of the budget yet that we should be looking at. And I had called Administrator Hulte and, you know, I made mention just some real basic things like digging into, you know, supplies. What does that mean? Well, there's millions of dollars of just a supply item. Using that as a basic reference to say, hey, is there just an exponential increase? Is there a reason for it? It's an easy area to hide things in. You know, is money being reallocated? Is it truly being spent as needed, or is it just being spent because, hey, we don't want to lose it? I believe there's a lot of money here that we can dive into. And I appreciate the comments of, hey, we really trust people at the top. But I can tell you now, I am the top of what I own, which is not huge by any means, but it's many millions is what our company does. And I can tell you right now, I don't have all the answers. And I'm constantly turning to people to tell me what to do, because the only way I improve is to find my mistakes. And so that just reiterates another need to look at these financial advisory committees, to really dive into the rest of the numbers and say, hey, is that necessary, or has that just been status quo? I can tell you now, I am not going to support any sort of substantial raise in this levy, because it's just not feasible. And no different than I recommended for SEMCRA, it's just the way it has to be. So between now and that side of things, that pencil's going to have to get really sharp. So.
Commissioner Meyer.
Oh, thanks. I am glad that Auditor Treasurer Wilbright is still here. So at the land records meeting, there was an interesting conversation of, apparently the legislature's passed a law. And so people involved in the judiciary are allowed to hide their public records related to their ownership of property. Did I get that right? And I'm not sure that we fully have the ability to implement it. We're working on it, but the understanding is this will probably get expanded in this next legislative session.
Does it stem from the shootings? and
I'm
stuff?
guessing that it
People can
does.
find our records or
Yeah.
addresses.
And
Yeah.
is there anything else that I didn't say that you would like to add?
We just, as a county, need to be mindful of how far that reaches. Like, you think of the recorder's department and public records and the auditor treasurers, the assessor's department for the statements and things that we send out that are generally public record and available online. But the meetings that I've been to with McCapfo, that we also need to think about like permitting. Is that also something that will be considered private, et cetera, and just need a plan to make sure that we can comply. They do have to request, like they have to fill out paperwork, and there's a fee per property that they want hidden, but we need to be ready for it. It goes into effect January 1st.
I just want to make everybody aware about it. You know how this stuff comes out.
Ms. Holding.
In addition, we were waiting for Mr. Bamnick to go to a meeting on the 10th. So yesterday?
Yesterday.
And so we have another meeting scheduled the first part of January.
Okay.
And then we'll have all of the parties at that meeting so that we can determine what can we do, how should we go about it. So I just want to, and we would have Mr. Sadler as the assessor representative there as well.
Okay.
So just, we are working on it, but we don't know exactly what does that mean
What
yet.
it entails. Gee, I kind of know where President Trump lives. I mean, that's not a secret.
Mar-a-Lago?
Might not, where he might be.
Than we do, though.
He could be most anywhere in the world. He's probably on Air Force One. Just a real quick, we had the AMC Minnesota Counties Association conference, and we had some awesome, they have like 3 keynote speakers throughout these days. And one was, trust matters more than ever. Trust, government's not really too trustworthy right now, so we have to work on that. And then they had another one with courage to innovate, to think outside the box and do things a little bit different. And then they had another one on generational workforce. That was very interesting. I'm a baby boomer, how the Gen X works, how the millennials and how the Gen Zs, and it's kind of scary. But what they require, and we need to understand that because our workforce is constantly changing. But a couple, not any one speaker, but I did like a theme that ran through. Some of it was for government, make every public dollar work harder. Make every public dollar work harder. And then I see Jill Chafee, our health person. This struck with me too. If you don't make time for wellness, you will be making time for illness. And that's both in a wellness, physical wellness and a mental wellness and everything. So if you don't take time for, I thought that was a good way to put it. If you don't take time for wellness, you will be making time for illness. It was a good conference, well attended. Lots of good breakout sessions. Jill did represent the county, the Southeast Minnesota data group. It was key headed by Olmsted County because we always have to send, you need to have a stack of thank yous. We need to send Olmsted County thank you notes every now and then because they do a lot for Southeast Minnesota. They created this data base board. Is it baseboard? No, is that the right baseboard? Yeah, dashboard with data and everything that's being used by about 10 counties and everything. So, and Jill was there and Jill got to partake in a number of the sessions and hopefully she learned a lot. Yeah, other than that, be careful, be safe. We got extreme cold weather coming up, so people be careful, be safe. And I do appreciate the don't too many claims with slip and falls, and we don't need those claims.
Motion to adjourn.
All right, motion by Commissioner Elsing,
Second.
second by Commissioner Vagley. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Nay. We are adjourned.
Do you put your phone on do not disturb?